What's up, guys? Welcome back to another reading. Let's do this. Stay up on it. Freaking. How you doing? I'm doing good. Damn. Got some coffee. And now we got some word and we're about to read. So I think we did 31 through 35 last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40 is what we're going to read. Oh, I guess we're just going to finish it up. Yeah. Last few chapters, and then we're on Leviticus. Alright, let's finish up Exodus. That's pretty cool. Let's do this. I've never made it this far in the Bible before. Alright, chapter 36. But, oh yeah, I remember we said that it started out weird, so we were going to start it off on Bezalel and Oholibah. Then Moses said to the Israelites, "See, the Lord has chosen Bezalel, son of Uri, the son of Hur, the tribe of Judah, and he has filled him with the Spirit of God, with wisdom, with understanding, with knowledge, with all kinds of skills, to make artistic designs for work in gold, silver, and bronze, to cut and set stones, to work in wood, and to engage in all kinds of artistic crafts." I'll try to speak up for you guys. "And he has given both him and Oholibah, son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, the ability to teach others. He has filled them with skill to do all kinds of work as engravers, designers, embroiders, and blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and fine linen, and weavers, all of them skilled workers." Chapter 36, and designers. So Bezalel, Oholibah, and every skilled person to whom the Lord has given skill and ability to know how to carry out all work of constructing the sanctuary, are to do the work just as the Lord has commanded. Then Moses summoned Bezalel and Oholibah and every skilled person to whom the Lord has given ability and who was willing to come and do the work. They received from Moses all the offerings the Israelites had brought to carry out the work of constructing the sanctuary, and the people continued to bring free will offerings morning after morning. So all the skilled workers who were doing all the work on the sanctuary left what they were doing and said to Moses, "The people are bringing more than enough for doing the work the Lord commanded to be done." Then Moses gave an order, and they sent this word throughout the camp: "No man or woman is to make anything else as an offering for the sanctuary." And so the people were restrained in bringing more because what they already had was more than enough to do all the work. The tabernacle. All those who were skilled among the workers made the tabernacle with 10 curtains of finely twisted linen and blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, with the cherubim woven into them by expert hands. All the curtains were the same size, 28 cubits long, 4 cubits wide. They joined 5 of the curtains together and did the same with the other 5. Then they made loops of blue material along the edge of the end of the curtain in one set, and the same was done with the end curtain in the other set. They also made 50 loops on one curtain and 50 loops on the end curtain of the other set. I keep losing where I'm at. With the loops opposite each other, then they made 50 gold clasps and used them to fasten the 2 sets of curtains together so that the tabernacle was a unit. Because I'm thinking about like how big it is and what it's like looking at as I'm reading it in my mind, and like turn me off a little bit. They made curtains of goat hair for the tent over the tabernacle. Curtains of goat hair. Man, that's crazy. I don't know, I just like imagining all that stuff. Like every little detail like that. 11 altogether. All 11 curtains were the same size, 30 cubits long, 4 cubits wide. The same size, 30 cubits long, 4 cubits wide. They joined 5 of the curtains into one set and the other 6 into another set. Then they made 50 loops along the edge of the end curtain in one set, and also along the edge of the end curtain in the other set. They made 50 bronze clasps to fasten them together as a unit. Then they made for a tent a covering of ram skins dyed red, and over that a covering of the other durable leather. They made upright frames of acacia wood for the tabernacle. Each frame was 10 cubits long and a cubit and a half wide, with 2 projections set parallel to each other. They made all the frames of the tabernacle this way. They made 20 frames for the south side of the tabernacle and made 40 silver bases to go under them. 2 bases for each frame, one under each projection. For the other side, the north side of the tabernacle, they made 20 frames and 40 silver bases, 2 under each frame. They made 6 frames for the far end, that is the west end of the tabernacle, and 2 frames were made for the corners of the tabernacle at the far end. At these 2 corners of the frames were double from the bottom all the way to the top and fitted into a single ring. Both were made alike, so there were 8 frames and 16 silver bases, 2 under each frame. They also made crossbars of acacia wood, 5 for the frames on one side of the tabernacle. It's like almost like giving you instructions on how to, like, pretty much you can make whatever they're telling just by, they're giving you the exact cubits and everything. It'd be interesting to just try to make this just to see what it looked like back then. I'm sure it's harder than crap. Where was I? They also made crossbars of acacia wood, 5 frames on one side of the tabernacle, 5 frames on the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 for the frames on the west. At the far end of the tabernacle, they made the center crossbar so that it extended from the end to the end of the middle of the frames. They overlaid the frames with gold, made gold rings to hold the crossbars. They also overlaid the crossbars with gold. They made the curtain of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and finely twisted linen with a cherubim woven into it by a skilled worker. They made by a skilled worker, period. They made 4 posts of acacia wood for it and overlaid them with gold. They made gold hooks for them and cast their 4 silver bases. For the entrance to the tent, they made a curtain of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and finely twisted linen, the work of an embroiderer. And they made 5 posts with hooks for them. They overlaid the tops of the posts and their bands with gold, and made their 5 bases of bronze. The work of an embroiderer. Machines do embroider work now, so that's crazy. These people doing this all by hand. Chapter 37, the Ark. I need to take a drink of my coffee because it's going to get cold fast, and I don't like cold coffee. I don't mess with cold coffee at all. I barely even like it warm. It has to be hot. Alright, chapter 37, the Ark. Bezalel made the Ark of acacia wood, 2.5 cubits long, a cubit and a half wide, and a cubit and a half high. He overlaid it with pure gold, both inside and out, and made a gold molding around it. He cast 4 gold rings for it and fastened them to its 4 feet, with 2 rings on one side, 2 rings on the other. Then he made poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold, and he inserted the poles into the rings on the sides of the ark to carry it. He made the atonement cover of pure gold, 2.5 cubits long, and a cubit and a half wide. Then he made 2 cherubim out of hammered gold at the ends of the cover. He made 1 cherub on one end, and on the second cherub on the other. At the 2 ends he made them of one piece with the cover. The cherubim had their wings spread upward, overshadowing the cover with them all. The cherubim faced each other, looking toward the cover. The table. They made the table of acacia wood, 2 cubits long, a cubit wide, and a cubit and a half high. Then they overlaid it with pure gold and made a gold molding around it. That's crazy. They just had gold everywhere. They also made around it a rim, a hand breadth wide, and put a gold molding on the rim. They cast 4 gold rings for the table and fastened them to the 4 corners where the legs were. The rings were put close to the rim to hold the poles used in carrying the table. The poles for carrying the table were made of acacia wood and were overlaid with gold, and were made from pure gold, the articles for the table, its plates and dishes and bowls and its pitchers for the pouring out of drink offerings. The lampstand. They made the lampstand of pure gold. They hammered out its base and shaft and made its flower-like cups, buds, and blossoms of one piece with them. 6 branches extended from the sides of the lampstand, 3 on one side, 3 on the other. 3 cups shaped like almond flowers with buds and blossoms were on one branch, 3 on the next branch, and the same for all 6 branches extending from the lampstand. And on the lampstand were 4 cups shaped like almond flowers with buds and blossoms. 1 bud was under the first pair of branches extending from the lampstand, a second bud under the second pair, and the third bud under the third pair. 6 branches in all. The buds and branches were all of one piece with the lampstand, hammered out of pure gold. They made its 7 lamps as well as its trimmers and trays of pure gold. They made the lampstand and all its accessories from 1 talent of pure gold. Let me check something out real quick. Alright, so here's a little picture of the lampstand. Back in the day, this is what a lampstand would be with these things. It's like candles on the top, pretty much. And there's the buds and the blossoms, the branches and all that. Just give you kind of a little a visual of what we're reading about. And then I believe this is the table. So you can get a better visual of it, pretty much. Acacia wood overlaid in gold. Here's one, a pretty cool picture. Just so you can get a little, you know what I mean? I needed a little idea. I'm not claiming like, I know what it looked like. Nah, that was for me too. Alright, the altar of incense. They made the altar of incense out of acacia wood. It was square, a cubit long and a cubit wide, and 2 cubits high, its horns of one piece with it. They overlaid the top and all sides and the horns with pure gold, and made a gold molding around it. They made 2 gold rings below the molding, 2 on each of the opposite sides to hold the poles used to carry it. So those poles that we had seen on the table, that's how they would carry it around. They made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. They also made the sacred anointing oil and pure fragrant incense, the work of a perfumer. The altar of incense. Let's take that now that we read about it. So this is an idea of the altar of incense. Pretty much what there's the poles that they used to carry it. A lot of gold. Definitely looks like it's a lot of money. Considering all of our money revolves around gold nowadays. Well, I guess it's not pure gold, it's acacia wood overlaid with gold. But that's pretty cool. You can get a look at it now. The altar of burnt offering. They built the altar of burnt offering of acacia wood, 3 cubits high. It was square, 5 cubits long, 5 cubits wide. They made a horn at each of the corner of They made a horn at each of the 4 corners, so that the horns of the altar were of one piece, and they overlaid the altar with bronze. They made all its utensils of bronze, its pots, shovels, sprinkling bowls, meat forks, and fire pans. They made They made a grating for the altar, a bronze network to be under its ledge. Halfway up the altar, they cast bronze rings to hold the poles for the 4 corners of the bronze grating. They made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with bronze. They inserted the poles into the rings so they would be on the sides of the altar for carrying it. They made it hollow out of boards, so it wouldn't really be that heavy. That's cool. That makes sense. The basin for washing. They made the bronze basin and its bronze stand from the mirrors of the women who served at the entrance of the tent of the meeting, the courtyard. Next, they made the courtyard. The south side was 100 cubits long and had curtains of finely twisted linen with 20 posts and 20 bronze bases with silver hooks and bands on the posts. The north side was also 100 cubits long and had 20 posts and 20 bronze bases with silver hooks and bands on the posts. The west end was 50 cubits wide and had curtains with 10 posts and 10 bases. I don't know why I was saying basses before. I think I was saying basses. So dumb. With silver hooks and bands on the posts. The east end toward the sunrise was also 50 cubits wide. Curtains 15 cubits long were on one side of the entrance with 3 posts and 3 bases. And curtains 15 cubits long were on the other side of the entrance to the courtyard with 3 posts and 3 bases. All the curtains around the courtyard were of finely twisted linen. The bases for the posts were bronze. The hooks and the bands on the posts were silver, and their tops were overlaid with silver, so all the posts of the courtyard had silver bands. The curtain for the entrance to the courtyard was made of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and finely twisted linen, the work of an embroider. It was 20 cubits long, and like the curtains of the courtyard, 5 cubits high, with 4 posts and 4 bronze bases. Their hooks and bands were silver, and their tops were overlaid with silver. All the tent pegs of the tabernacle and of the surrounding courtyard were bronze. The materials used. These are the amounts of materials used for the tabernacle of the covenant law, which were recorded at Moses, commanded by the Levites, under the direction of Ithamar, son of Aaron. The priest Bezalel, son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, made everything the Lord commanded Moses. With him was Oholiab, son of Ahishamach, of the tribe of Dan, an engraver and designer and embroiderer in blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and fine linen. The total amount of gold from the wave offering used for all the work on the sanctuary was 29 talents and 730 shekels, according to the sanctuary shekel. The silver obtained from those of the community were counted in the census was 100 talents and 1,775 shekels, according to the sanctuary shekel. One backup per person, that is a half a shekel, according to the sanctuary shekel. From everyone who had crossed over to those counted 20 years old or more, a total of 603,550 men. 100 talents of silver were used to cast the bases for the sanctuary and for the curtain. 100 bases, bro. What the heck am I saying? 100 bases from the 100 talents. 1 talent for each base. Okay. In my head, okay. They used the 1,775 shekels to make the hooks for the posts, to overlay the tops of the posts and make their bands. The bronze from the wave offering was 70 talents and 2,400 shekels. They used it to make the bases for the entrance to the tent of the meeting, the bronze altar with its bronze grating and all its utensils, the bases for the surrounding courtyard and those for its entrance, all the tent pegs for the tabernacle and those for the surrounding courtyard. Boom. Basses. Get out of here. Alright. Let's see. I want to look up the altar of burnt offering. So this is what the altar of burnt offering pretty much looked like. Okay. And the courtyard. Here's the courtyard. You can see the scarlet and purple fine linen. Those are the curtains. You know what I mean? All the posts. So I'm guessing like, they said it was like 20 posts. The south side was 100 cubits long and had curtains of finely twisted linen. Okay, so that's going to be the inside of there. with 20 posts and 20 bronze bases. That's pretty cool. So I'm guessing 20 posts this way and 10 this way. I don't know, but that's a good representation of it. That's pretty cool. This one actually has the cubits and everything on the screen. 50 cubits, 100 cubits. What else was there? Oh, okay. That's it. Materials used. Read that. Oh yeah, I wanted to see how much the gold was at that time. They used like 730 shekels and 29 talents of gold. I wonder how much that is. 730 shekels in US dollars nowadays. Let's see. I'm guessing that's, yeah, $223.02. So nowadays, that gold, 730 shekels, well, it says 29 talents too. How much is a talent, man? Come on, man. Let's see this. 29 talents in US dollars. Oops. $1 gram costs about $38. I don't know why this thing keeps stopping. What did I say? I don't know why this thing keeps stopping. I have no idea why this thing keeps stopping. At this price, a talent 33 grams would be worth about... What? That looks like a lot. A talent, 33 kilograms, would be worth about 1,400,000. Is that 1 million? That should be 1,400,000. No, I don't even know. I suck. I know, I'm stupid. 1,400,116.57. Yeah, I know. Shut up. Leave me alone. That's crazy, though. 29. I don't know if that's right. That'd be a lot of money. I mean, nowadays, obviously. Alright. I just wanted to get an idea. That's a lot of gold. Shekels of gold. 29, I mean, out of how much people were there? 603,550 men. That's great. I believe they all, shared or whatever. Or put it into words. They all gave into building this. If that makes sense. Obviously it makes sense. Alright. The priestly garments from the blue, purple, and scarlet yarn they made woven garments for ministering in the sanctuary. They also made sacred garments for Aaron as the Lord commanded Moses. The ephod, they made the ephod of gold and of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and of finely twisted linen. They hammered out thin sheets of gold, cut strands to be worked into the blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and fine linen. The work of skilled hands, they made shoulder pieces for the ephod, which were attached to two of its corners so it could be fastened. Skillfully woven waistband was like it, of one piece with the ephod and made with gold, with blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and with finely twisted linen, as the Lord commanded Moses. They mounted on the onyx stones in gold filigree settings and engraved them like a seal with the names of the sons of Israel. Then they fastened them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod as memorial stones for the sons of Israel, as the Lord commanded Moses. I just need to look up something, because ephod, I don't know if I'm saying that right. How do you pronounce ephod? What are they going to do?
Ephod.
Ephod. So ephod.
Ephod.
That should be right. You know, Google. I'm just kidding. Ephod. Okay. They fastened them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod as memorial stones for the sons of Israel, as Lord commanded Moses. The breast piece. They fashioned the breast piece, the work of a skilled craftsman. They made it like the ephod of gold and of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and of finely twisted linen. It was square, a span long, and a span wide, and folded double. Then they mounted 4 rows of precious stones on it. The first row was carnelian, chrysolite, and beryl. The second row was turquoise, lapis, lazuli, and emerald. The third row was... What? I'm not gonna... Jacinth? I'm sorry. I'd just like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. Just kidding. Alright, let's see.
Jacinth.
Jacinth. Is that what I said? Sounds like that's what I said. Oh well. Alright. The third row was jacinth, agate, and amethyst. The fourth row was topaz, onyx, and jasper. They were mounted in gold filigree settings. There were 12 stones, one for each of the names of the sons of Israel, each engraved like a seal with the name of one of the 12 tribes. For the breastpiece, they made braided chains of pure gold like a rope. They made 2 gold filigree settings and 2 gold rings, and fastened the rings to 2 of the corners of the breastpiece. They fastened the 2 gold chains to the rings at the corners of the breastpiece, and the other ends of the chains to the 2 settings, attaching them to the shoulder pieces of the ephod at the front. They made 2 gold rings and attached them to the other 2 corners of the breastpiece on the inside of the edge next to the ephod. Then they made 2 more gold rings and attached them to the bottom of the shoulder pieces. On the front of the ephod, close to the seam just above the waistband of the ephod, they tied the rings of the breastpiece to the rings of the ephod. Man, I said that 3 times like in such a short span, with blue cord connecting it to the waistband. It's like twisting my tongue. Okay, connecting to the waistband so that the breastpiece would not swing out from the ephod as the Lord commanded Moses. Other priestly garments. They made the robe of the ephod entirely of blue cloth, the work of a weaver, with an opening in the center of the robe like an opening of a collar, and a band around this opening, so that it would not tear. They made the pomegranates of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and finely twisted linen around the hem of the robe, and they made bells of pure gold and attached them around the hem. Between the pomegranates, the bells and the pomegranates alternated around the hem of the robe to be worn for ministering, as the Lord commanded Moses. For Aaron and his sons they made tunics of fine linen, the work of a weaver, and the turban of fine linen, the linen caps, and the undergarments of finely twisted linen. The sash was made of finely twisted linen and blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, the work of an embroider, as the Lord commanded Moses. They made the plate, the sacred emblem, out of pure gold, and engraved on it, like an inscription on a seal, holy to the Lord. And they fastened a blue cord to it, attached it to the turban, as the Lord commanded Moses. Moses inspects the tabernacle. We got the inspector coming today. Make sure everything's right. Twist that scarlet finely. So all the work of the tabernacle, the tent of meeting was completed. The Israelites did everything just as the Lord commanded Moses. Then they brought the tabernacle to Moses, the tent and all its furnishings, its clasp frames, crossbars, posts, and bases, bases, the covering of ram skins dyed red, and the covering of another durable leather, and the shielding curtain, the Ark of the Covenant law with its poles, and the atonement cover, the table with all its articles, and the bread of the presence, the pure gold lampstand with its row of lamps and all its accessories, and the olive oil for the light, the gold altar, the anointing oil, the fragrant incense, the curtain for the entrance to the tent, the bronze altar with its bronze grating, its poles and all its utensils, the basin with its stand, the curtains of the courtyard with its post and bases, the curtain for the entrance to the courtyard, the ropes and tent pages for the courtyard, all the furnishings for the tabernacle, the tent of meeting, the woven garments for ministering in the sanctuary, both the sacred garments for Aaron the priest and the garments for his sons when serving as priests. The Israelites had done all the work just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Moses inspected the work and saw they had done it just as the Lord had commanded. So Moses blessed them. Nice. Let's see. I just want to look up the ephod. And get a look at that. Then I guess holy garments. There's the ephod. Let's check out the breast piece. With all those stones on there, the amethyst, onyx, the jacinth, or jacinth, I think that's, I literally looked it up. Alright. Setting up the tabernacle, chapter 40. Then the Lord said to Moses, set up the tabernacle, the tent of meeting on the first day of the month, place the ark of the covenant law in it, and shield the ark with the curtain. Bring in the table and set out what belongs to it. Then bring in the lampstand and set up lamps. Place the gold altar of incense in front. I wanted to look up those pictures because even with me reading this, I couldn't really picture what in the heck it looked like just by reading it. You know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff. Cubits long, cubits wide. You know what I mean? Purple, finely twisted linen. So it was like, I thought it would be good to show that. I'm glad I got to see what it looked like for myself as well as show you guys. That's pretty cool. Because I'm sure it could be confusing. Okay. Place the gold altar of incense in front of the ark of the covenant law and put the curtain at the entrance to the tabernacle. Place the altar of burnt offering in front of the entrance to the tabernacle, the tent of meeting. Place the basin between the tent of the meeting and the altar and put water in it. Set up the courtyard around it and put the curtain at the entrance to the courtyard. Take the anointing oil and anoint the tabernacle and everything in it. Consecrate it and all its furnishings, and it will be holy. Then anoint the altar of burnt offering and all its utensils. Consecrate the altar, and it will be most holy. Anoint the basin and its stand, and consecrate them. Bring Aaron and his sons to the entrance to the tent of meeting, and wash them with water. Then dress Aaron on the sacred garments, anoint him and consecrate him so that he may serve me as a priest. Bring his sons and dress them in tunics, anoint them as you anointed their father, so that they may serve me as priests. Their anointing will be to a priesthood that will continue throughout their generations. Moses did everything just as the Lord commanded him. So the tabernacle was set up on the first day of the first month in the second year. When Moses set up the tabernacle, he put up the bases in place, erected the frames, inserted the crossbars, and set up the posts. Then he spread the tent over the tabernacle and put the covering over the tent as the Lord commanded him. He took the tablets of the covenant law and placed them in the ark, attached the poles to the ark, and put the atonement cover over it. Then he brought the ark into the tabernacle and hung the shielding curtain and shielded the ark of the covenant law as the Lord commanded him. Moses placed the table in the tent of the meeting on the north side of the tabernacle outside the curtain, and set out the bread on it before the Lord as the Lord commanded him. He placed the lampstand in the tent of the meeting opposite the table on the south side of the tabernacle, and set up the lamps before the Lord as commanded him. You know, the lamps we showed you, all the branches. They got the buds on there. Moses placed the Moses placed the gold altar in the tent of the meeting in the front of the curtain and burned fragrant incense on it as the Lord commanded him. Then he put up the curtain at the entrance to the tabernacle. He set the altar of burnt offering near the entrance to the tabernacle, the tent of meeting, and offered on it burnt offerings and grain offerings as the Lord commanded him. He placed the basin between the tent of the meeting and the altar and put water in it for washing, and Moses and Aaron and his sons used it to wash their hands and feet. They washed whenever they entered the tent of meeting or approached the altar as the Lord commanded Moses. Then Moses set up the courtyard around the tabernacle and altar and put up the curtain at the entrance to the courtyard, and so Moses finished the work. The glory of the Lord. Then the cloud covered the tent of meeting, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. Moses could not enter the tent of meeting because the cloud had settled on it. The glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle and all the travels of the Israelites. Whenever the cloud lifted from the tabernacle, they would set out. But if the cloud did not lift, they did not set out until the day it lifted. So the cloud of the Lord was over the tabernacle by day, and fire was in the cloud by night, in the sight of all the Israelites doing all their travels. That's crazy. Heck yeah. Oh, the cloud of the Lord. He's protecting it. That's why. Man, I can't believe we're getting this far already. I know we would have been so far there if I would have just kept reading. We would have already been done with Leviticus. And definitely probably the next chapter of Numbers too, because I don't think these ones are even that long. How long is Leviticus? 26 chapters. This one was like 40. So, and Genesis was like 50 something, 55 I think. 50. All right, man. Exodus is now done. I hope you guys enjoyed all this reading. Hope you guys join for the next chapter. We're going to read Leviticus and make it our whole way throughout the Bible and learn everything, learn more about the Lord, seek after Him, and not what I want or whatever. I don't know. You know how it goes. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. God bless, and be fruitful, go spread the word. Let's do this.